Hi, my name's Diana Kander, and I'm guest hosting this week's episode of Top of Mind. I'm here today with Parker Hills, and we're going to talk about disrupting the real estate industry. Tell me about the inspiration for Keyzio, the company you founded.
Sure. So a year ago, or a little over a year ago, my wife and I were in the process of considering selling our house and looking for our next home. And that process, starts from an idea of, hey, we think we want to maybe sell our house or move to a bigger house. And just from that initial idea of that thought to actually getting the transaction closed and buying another home, there were just several observations I made that seemed like the process could be improved upon. And so, we sold our house quickly, and then our backs were up against the wall where we were basically forced to buy another home within a finite period of time, and nothing was for sale. We saw some homes that we liked, but they weren't for sale, and things like that. And so the original idea was I wanted an easy way to broadcast what we were looking for and let every homeowner in the area know that we were in the market, we wanted to buy a home, we were ready to buy, and basically an app that would facilitate that. And that was the initial idea.
And what did you do with the idea?
So I decided, I thought about it for a few months and was thinking about trying to build kind of a prototype, and I thought, well, it could be a lot more efficient to just take the idea of a startup weekend. I had never been to one before and decided I'd just check it out. And you go there and you don't know if you're going to be working on your idea or not, because there's 60 or 80 ideas pitched and only 10 or 15 teams formed. So I was glad to see that my idea got a few votes, and then I was able to form a team, and you just sort of dive in, and it's kind of a whirlwind.
And you never met your teammates before?
I didn't know a single person actually at Startup Weekend.
Wow.
I had a few acquaintances, but I didn't go with anyone. I didn't have any support system. I just went and tried it out and had a lot of fun. And so, I met, I think we ended up forming a team of 6 people or so, and we worked till, 1 in the morning Friday night, came back Saturday, worked all day, and put our pitch together and pitched to the judges on Sunday night and ended up getting second place. And the aftermath of Startup Weekend was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I want to hear about that, because there's a lot of energy during Startup Weekend and people get really excited, and you're on a team and you're very cohesive, and then the weekend's over and a lot of people wonder what happens then.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how it went. I mean, it's sort of a Startup Weekend hangover a little bit.
Yeah.
Where, Monday you're still really excited. It's like you think you're just going to keep going at the same pace, and people go back to their day jobs, and you kind of pick up the pieces and figure out, okay, what's next. And so for us, that looked like, we kept the team together for a little while and had weekly meetings and kept trying to keep going, and it became clear that some people were either too busy or not interested in where we were headed and things like that. And so we sort of broke up, actually, and sort of said, well, if anybody wants to keep working on this, let me know. I'm going to keep working on it. And one of those team members, basically emailed me back and said, yeah, I'm going to keep working on it. And so the two of us kept going, and then we actually recruited another developer from another person we met at Startup Weekend, but who wasn't on our team. They weren't even at Startup Weekend, rather. We were just introduced to them. But our entire 3-person team is, totally came together because of Startup Weekend or connections we made at Startup Weekend.
And how did you break up your time between building the product, going out and talking to customers, or doing other like formation things, other business things?
Yeah. For us, it was, we probably developed the least as far as like technology over the course of that weekend, but we spent a ton of time on the strategy, the idea, the market, potential business models, and things like that, which ended up being a pretty good portion of the judging criteria, whereas some other teams focused exclusively on the tech and built some really cool stuff.
And what about after the weekend?
After the weekend, it was just sort of like, okay, this is what we want to build, and we just started kind of the design process. We kind of started over essentially with, all right, now we have actually time to actually mock things up and figure out exactly what we want to build and be a little bit more deliberate about it. And it's amazing. You can get done a lot more in a weekend if you set those time limits and things like that and just make decisions.
Yep.
So it's a good experience. And we've actually continued to have our own little internal mini startup weekends where we get together and we'll work for all day Saturday and all day Sunday and kind of have some defined goals and really crank stuff out.
After startup weekend, you form your new team. How do you go out and start selling to customers? What happens next?
Well, in our case, it's a little different. We don't really have a product to sell. It's more of an app that is designed for just getting a lot of users in the system and building a marketplace, and then figuring out how to monetize that marketplace later. And so our strategy was, to launch the app and try some various marketing techniques here in town, which is what we did. We actually launched it the day before we presented at 1 million cups in January, and so that gave us a good little pop the day the day we launched our app. And then from there, just kind of did grassroots marketing and social media marketing and things like that to get the word out. But we focused exclusively on the Kansas City area, as opposed to trying to go have something that goes viral nationwide. It's sort of a functional app. It's not really a Instagram type app where people are going to spread it virally, things like that.
So what have you learned since launching the product?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, people are our original idea. People are interested in it, but getting them to take a few of the steps that they need to take in order to have it be successful is obviously harder than you think it would be, and just user experience stuff in general. You think it's very clear that people are going to understand this or that, and it's not, and getting that feedback is really critical. The other thing is, I mean, we're still sort of in the hunt for our business model, and I think that's okay. Sometimes there's some pressure to decide, and we've kept a lot of doors open for various reasons. We're narrowing in on that, but it's a process.
Yeah. How are you financing your venture?
It's largely bootstrapped. A few months after startup weekend last fall, we applied for and were accepted into the Think Big Partners Accelerator, and that provided a small amount of seed funding. And so we've used that. We've all kept our day jobs and work on this nights and weekends, and have used the funding largely for marketing purposes and things like that. And so it's pretty much bootstrapped, however. So that's where we're at.
And what does the next year or so look like? What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, we're getting really close to sort of deciding that direction. And there's a few opportunities that could take us down different paths. And so we're really at a pivotal point right now, like literally this month, just making some of those decisions. And it sort of depends on a few opportunities that are ahead. And so once we make that decision, it'll be clear, what our path forward is, if it's raising capital or continuing to bootstrap it, things like that.
Yeah. And what's it like operating? You're operating inside the real estate industry, which is, a huge industry, lots of opportunity. That's what appeals to a lot of potential investors and other people working with you. What's it like operating in something that has such an established process that you're trying to navigate?
Yeah, I mean, we have to be a little bit cautious and careful that we don't, come out and say that our way is better and things like that. We think we've built a useful tool that agents and consumers alike can benefit from. And so we're trying to figure out how to match what we've built and what our experience as consumers has been up with the existing process, and see how they can work together. And that's really the challenge. I mean, existing brokers and agents, the response from them has been everywhere across the spectrum. So some see us as a total threat where we're trying to eliminate their jobs, and others see us as a total opportunity where we think through our service or product we can help them provide a higher level of service to their clients and really help their clients achieve their goals, which is really what we're after. And so it's a little bit of a public relations problem, and just meeting with a ton of agents and brokers to make sure that they know we're not we haven't set out to kill off real estate brokers and agents. That never was our goal. It was to create a better experience.
Parker, thank you so much for taking the time to sit
Sure.
down with us and share your story. We look forward to watching your progress and what happens during this pivotal month. So
Great.
thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.